Hi, welcome back. It's Laura at Hyperstamper. Today's antique vintage junk journal that I'm just about to put in my Etsy shop at hyperstamper.etsy.com is around $50 US, and it is an antique book called Wild Geese, and it is from 1925, so just about 100 years old. And I just love the image on the front with the geese flying south in their V formations, the beautiful oranges and navy blues. I put some navy trim on here and some orange satin ribbon, and then I used these very old vintage beads to make a bangle. And sorry, Lacey's going to be joining us. And so let me take you on a little tour of the inside. I think you're really gonna like this one. Okay, so again, the original first pages of the book, which I always try to do. And then on this side here, I've got this beautiful plate from 1904. Look at that beautiful landscape. So you can journal in the back of that. And a children's book page there. This is really cool. This is about the Rosetta Stone and how they created books and words. So that's a really neat history page from 1937. Vintage paper here. This is a also from 1937. Yosemite Falls, California on one side, and then we've got the American Virgin Islands on the other side. This is an antique postcard here from Stratford in England, and a little peekaboo journaling spot up here. And thank you, Lacey. This is really cool. This is from an antique book, and it's got the pocket on here with the original library card in it. How cool is that? It's the only one I have that is this cool. So I've had it for years, and I finally decided it's time to let it go. Let somebody else enjoy it. This is the inside page of a antique book, and now it is a journaling spot. Really cool 1923 page here. And there's this gorgeous plate here from 1904, and that is absolutely beautiful. That is just an incredible landscape there. The eagle bringing her babies some food. Nice plate here. And then I've got here, this is from a vintage book as well. Just some really cool images there. And then this is an antique photograph from the 20s, and that is Laura Ethelyn Maud. 3 very old names. I really like that. And then this here is a 1920s banknote. That's pretty neat. I love the texture of them too. You can feel the embossing on them. Rosetta Stone there. Very cool. And this is a very old piece of handmade. It's a mixture between crochet and lace. And then I've got these vintage buttons here. And then on here, I have just a really cool antique book page, 1899, with blank spot on the back. And this is all mounted onto a vintage botanical book page. And this is the cover of a book that I just could not save, but I thought it would make a fun journaling tag, Finding New Neighbors. And then just a fun little place to journal here. And underneath, beautiful feather here on this antique book page, eaves and ears of birds. Really pretty 1930s children's book page, a 1937 diary page. And you can ask to have the date swapped out at checkout on Etsy, hyperstamper.etsy.com. And there's another antique postcard, early 1900s on that one. And then this is just the back page, or the back cover of a vintage book on a gardening book, Gardener's Almanac. And I just love the bright colors, and so just a really cool piece. This is a hand-typed research paper, 1888 is the date on that one. And then in here, I've made another little booklet with a vintage recipe and some of my antique ephemera scraps. Another vintage botanical book page. And then this is sweet. This is an old Dutch nursery rhymes page from 1920. It turned into a pocket. And then this is a plate from the early 1900s. And it's really cool that it's a color plate. And sorry, this is not 1900s. This is 1940s. My apologies. But how cool is that? So we've got the Dutch and the Dutch here. I like it. And then here we have this lovely 1915 page here. Look at that gorgeous image. And then they've got the late Lord Kitchener on that side from England. And this is all put on top of an antique music sheet. Isn't that beautiful? And then we've got this 1950s crochet page. And this is really cool. Illustrated London News, and this is from 1897. And look at this. The young lady's journal. Like, how much fun can you have just with that? Maybe making a cover of another piece. Just a lot of fun to collage with, or just enjoy it as it is. This is the cover of a music sheet called Cold Cold Heart by Hank Williams. The good old Hank Williams. This is from 1903, a Beatrix Potter book, Miss Moppet. Really, really special, really, really old, and quite rare to have that. And this is from the 1953 here, the White House Baking Company. Neat, eh? You can journal in the back of that as well. And then this is from a vintage bird book here from the 70s. And then I made it into a pocket, and it's just got this wonderful vintage page here, which just has got these tiny little pieces. I love the aging on the other side as well. I didn't have to tea dye anything because everything is so well aged naturally. I have this vintage doily here, and I made one side into a pocket, another vintage botanical page. You can journal on the other side. Really pretty. I love pretty things. And then this is just fun. This is from a 1950s How to Dance book, and this is the waltz page. Journal on there. And this is all mounted on top of a 1934 Paris, France almanac page. And then I've got some vintage Monopoly money there, and you can see this wonderful pull-out here. Antique paper here, just for extra journaling space. 1950s receipt here. 1930s children's book page here that I turned into a double pocket. This is another handwritten research page, early 1900s. This is a vintage 1950s Betty Crocker recipe book page. Beautiful early 1900s botanical plate there. This is a little window pane peekaboo journaling spot here, and another handwritten research page there. And then this is from 1951 from a yearbook, Rochester. And then this is a page from this book, Wild Geese, that's blank on both sides. You can lots of journaling on there. Another wonderful children's book page here. This is just a really cool page from a history book. So I put an antique paper on the back for extra journaling. And then you've got this great little Paris, France almanac page there too. A little booklet here I made out of botanical pages. Look how pretty. A little pansy on the front there. We love our pansies. And look at that great image, French image there. This is a plate from a bookkeeping school book, and the original The End page. So I hope you love this one as much as I loved making it. Again, you can check that out at hyperstamper.etsy.com, and don't forget to subscribe. See you soon.